Ah, my good and dear friends. This is Londo Molari, and I'm watching the Bad News Bards on Tennessee Tabletop Tavern. Have I ever told you you're very cute for a Mandare?
Well, hello, everybody. Cam, as you can see, is off gone gaming again this evening. So I've got a couple of folks that are here to help me. You guys have seen them before. I got Dean, classing up the joint.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the invite. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, and from somewhere in the Midwest, I've got Dan,
Hey, Jeff.
the enforcer. So I've got
Yes, the
D&D,
chat mod.
and so we're going to talk about D&D and all things Gooey tonight, I think. So we do have we are going to be doing a giveaway here. I have a badge that Roger from CNYCon was kind enough to, well, I won it, and then I'm like, I already have badges, so you mind if I give it away? And he said, absolutely, that would be a great idea. So we're going to be doing that. I'll give you instructions in a little bit, but I don't want to keep our guests hold up here. Alphinius is still coming, but we do have camera Mandi on, and we have somebody else. So we're going to go ahead and bring them up. Let me see if it switches over. And let's see. I don't like that look because that's all of us. All right. Hi, camera Mandi, and hi, Luke.
Hey, how's it going?
You made it tonight. Yay!
Yes, I made it. Yeah, victory is mine.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, they've got the game going on there. Hopefully.
Yep.
So.
No, it was a lot of fun. I just came out of doing a little adventure in Castle Gyzaengaxx, which was a ton of fun. And of course, due to circumstances outside of my control, I missed an earlier interview with you guys. And when I heard
Steven, yeah,
Tim and Mandi were going to be on tonight, I totally invited myself along.
Yeah, no, I greatly appreciate it. I think it's going to be a fun night. And it looks like Alphinius is waiting in the wings, so let me bring him on board. Maybe. There we go.
There he is.
Hello?
Alphinius.
Is anyone out there? It is I. We've had an interesting day. Now listen, do not be a downer because it has a good ending, okay? But my dear Ms. Goo's mother fell this morning.
Oh no.
It was not a good, went to the hospital and everything, and we were worried about a concussion and all kinds of things. But doggone it, good old Grandma Goo came through it like a flying eagle, and she is back home. No concussion. She's in great shape, but it has been a weird day for us. So my apologies for our tardiness.
No, that's okay. That's okay, man. Was this the one that you were just visiting with?
Yes, literally.
Oh.
We literally came back. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She is a dear. She's 87 years old. She's feisty still, but she suffers with some things that diabetes in particular, and it makes it hard on her, But she is still magnificent, and it's wonderful to see her and give her a big smooch, and Tried to get her to not eat carbohydrates.
Yeah. Or well, I mean that doesn't carbohydrates. Well, it's the starch that turns into sugar. I've been
and not drink
fighting.
whiskey. You don't want her to drink whiskey either. This
Oh
is
well,
not
yeah, you know there's moonshine. I'm
I
in
better not
Tennessee.
get over with diabetes then.
So-
Luke, it is good to see you, Mandi. Hello, Dean. Hello, Dan, and of course, you look marvelous, darling.
Yeah, and Mandi and I were talking before with Dean and Dan, and she's like, I don't know what you guys mean. I'm like, no, you're part of the crew. I want the crew on. So we're gonna start off with one of our regular questions that always gets asked by my normal co-host who is off gaming. I don't know if you caught that little sign. What'd you think of the intro, Mandi?
I was going to tell you that I thought it was very well done. I thought it was
Okay.
very fun. I thought it was great animation, and yeah, I thought it was awesome. So you
Good.
did a good job.
Okay, yeah, not bad for an amateur, right? So
You know, I'll send you critiques later, but for the show, for the public audience, it was perfect. No, genuinely though, it was super fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
you did
know.
a great job.
I get a lot of people needling from some of my buddies out there in the YouTube spectrum saying, I don't know why you do a unique intro. Why don't you just do a generic one? I'm like, no, but I love doing them. It's fun to kind of tailor and make every show feel kind of a little bit unique. So, and
Hey, I think that's great that you still have that optimism and still want to keep doing it.
Well, I'm only
lost
24
I lost that,
in.
like 3 years ago. I was like, oh my God, we call it a low budget production.
Yeah.
Because that's where we have to live in order to keep it going. So anyway, so you did a great job.
Well, awesome. All right, so let's get started with that question. Mandi is probably going to be the shortest, so
Yeah.
we'll ask her. How did you get started in gaming? Tell us your history. We want to hear your backstory.
My history is very short because it started when Gooey Cube. I got into it for Gooey Cube. I was saying before the show started that I don't know how I'm going to keep up with Luke and Alphinius because they've been around this practically their whole lives. So 7 years, and basically it was just like, we're going to go into the gaming industry, and I was like, well, I probably should learn this thing that we're going to try and sell people. And it's been a wild, weird, kooky ride ever since, but it's been a lot of fun. So yeah.
That's awesome. All right, we'll go to Alphinius next. Alphinius, how did you get started in the hobby?
Well, back when I was young, which is a long time ago,
Did they have color back then, or was everything still in black and white?
TV. No, listen, Luke, I'm going to speak the truth. When I was a kid, kid, okay, it was black and white. That damn TV was black and white. Okay, so but I was about 15 years old, 16 years old, and I had a friend who said, hey, my buddies are playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Do you want to come? They need another person. And I was like, I've always wanted to play that game, but I really don't want to get teased by all my friends. So I said, I'll come, but you keep it between us. So I showed up in Castro Valley in a garage with mom's dryer running, and making it, warming up the room. Actually, it helped make the garage a little warmer. And so this would have been, gosh, I can't remember what it was. It was, Luke, do you remember when they published In Search of the Unknown? Do you remember when that was actually published?
That was pretty early. 70. Oh man, I don't know, 78, something like that. Let's see.
That sounds right, because somehow I ended up with all them with them in all those damn pools, and I ended up getting acidified or something like that.
It says published in 1979, so you were right there, Luke. 1979, written by Mike Carr.
Yeah, it's Mike Carr. I know that's.
Yep, that was the beginning of it all.
So
and
it was probably done in 78 and made it out in 79. So.
So that was it. That was the first game. We played that. Then we sometime later played Janelle Jaquay's Marvelous Dark Tower. And again, I ended up with ending with the black soul gem stuck in my head and the rest of the party wanting to kill me. And of course they did kill me. So I died again. I just loved it.
Yeah.
And from then on, it has been forever, and just part of my life and a joy, and of course, meeting you, Luke, and spending time and hearing the stories about your dad, and dream come true. So that's my story. I'll stick to it best as I can.
That's awesome. Well, Luke, we all know you got in probably from birth, practically, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So I think my dad was beginning to whittle away really in earnest on Dungeons and Dragons in 1973. That's when the bulk of it, the creation happened, and published in 74. So I was born in 1970, November of 1970. So
Okay.
1975 or so, I was about 4 years old. I played. I just basically begged to do what the big guys were doing, which was sitting around the dining room table playing Dungeons and Dragons. And it was my older brother would have been about 16, 15, 16 at that point. And there's probably Rob Kuntz is probably there, James Ward, a few other folks. And they were playing a very early playtest version. It was probably just an adventure, right?
Right.
The modules were, I think, still a year or so off, of Hamlet T1. And so I was, my dad said, oh, you want to play? You want to roll some dice? You could be one of the men at arms. I was like, okay, great. I get to hang out until my mom pulls me off to bed.
Right.
But then he took me to the side and he said, you're not just a man at arms. You are a ranger who works for the druid, and you are spying on this group to make sure that they are of a goodly nature and not working to bring back the moat house, which was, a stronghold of evil from the Temple of Elemental Evil, which is some distance away from Hamlet. And so I had like a character sheet and everything, and I was a first level ranger, which was a pretty cool character back then. It turns out the party was actually a good party, and they were attempting to defeat the evil that was there. And although we, took out Lyric in the moat house there as that group, we didn't continue on to the Temple of Elemental Evil. We took a left at Albuquerque, and we ended up at the setting of the Hill Giant Chief, and played through the Giant series and the Drow series. And so that's kind of how I got introduced to Dungeons and Dragons, as playing a ranger named Otis. It was great fun playing a fighter as a very young child. I just got to roll the dice and kill stuff. And as a ranger, old school, come on, I was fighting giants. It was bonuses everywhere. Lots of pluses, massive damage. Nothing that a young player likes better than waiting in there, with their long sword or whatever it is, and just getting, it's like +8. Oh, that's yes, throw more dice. It was great. So I think that had a lot to do with my love of gaming. It was many hours at a very young age enjoying the game.
That's awesome. And you've been pretty busy. Wow. For the past couple of years, really now.
Yeah.
Because you guys, you were working. Well, I know most recently you've been working with the Troll Lords. In fact, you were on their gaming earlier. We mentioned that.
Yeah.
And you've done some work with some other. You of course have published some of your own stuff. I've got it back over here.
Yeah, I saw some of that back there. So thank you.
Yeah, I picked up those. And I'm itching to play them, of course, or itching to run them is what I really want to do. Yeah, I love running.
They're fun. Yeah, they're fun 5e adventures. I retired from the Army in 2022 and kind of turned my attention to gaming full time. I obviously had at least dabbled over many years running GaryCon and doing some publishing, kind of through that. But my main occupation was a soldier. And obviously through GaryCon, I got to meet Alphinius and the crew at Gooey Cube, and struck up a friendship. And I saw their product line and was impressed with it. And Alphinius shared kind of his his origin story with gaming and how much reverence he held for the game, and a lot of the early developers, early folks who worked there, who worked on a game and really helped set the blueprint for what we have, the community that we have today, and you know, the millions of players that exist today. Out of, I think it was a very unlikely start to the game. You know, really, it's surprising, and it's a wonderful origin story. And this is not the time to tell it, but if you get a chance to look at Empire of Imagination, that's a quick overview. It's a really interesting story, and just how, you know, my dad influenced, and of course with great input from you know, Dave Arneson, as well as Dave McGarry, Dave Wesley, and many others. You know, this game came to be, and I think there's no doubt you can say my dad was its greatest proponent and most prolific author. And I had told Alphinius here about the first game I ever played of D&D, which was in T1, and that's how we decided to do the Tomb of Gyzengaxx in
kind of a tribute.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is awesome.
And it's the T1. And then, of course, I wasn't sure how successful it would be. Alphinius is ever the optimist. So he was like, this is going to be fantastic. And I was playing a little bit of Eeyore. I'm not sure how it's going to go. But no, it did very well. A lot of fun. And oh my gosh, it was really well received in 2024. It was a little while ago now. Gosh, that we did that. But we're ready to follow it up with part 2, and obviously, what, you know, where can you go from you know, an homage to T1 and Hamlet than the Temple of Elemental Evil?
And
and of course we want the Temple of what were we going to name it? The Goodman.
I think it's going to be Inquinatius, which is a derivative of corrupted. So I think, but I'm still toying around with it. You know, we still got time to figure it out, Luke. In fact, we could even do a contest, one more contest, and see what we would do. But I can't tell you, Luke, you know, because we sat there and you didn't know me from Adam, right? And I said, you know, I really do love this stuff, and I really think we got a chance to do something special. And you know, and then of course we got everything done. We did a wonderful crowdfund. And then we got hit with this terrible tariff thing, right? And this terrible tariff thing was very, I mean, if you weren't present for it, if you weren't in the teeth of it as a creator at that time, you have no idea how horrific it was. I mean, there are literally some companies that are not in business anymore because of the tariffs. Yeah. And even though it ended up not being quite as bad as many of us feared, right, when it was 100% and even 130% and all of that stuff, it still delays you, right? Because you can't make a decision when you don't know, you know. And my real day job's marketing and advertising and all that kind of stuff. And I've produced an awful lot of stuff in my life, and we're pretty good at producing things. And this was as confuddling. I'll go back to Alphinius. This was as confuddling of a thing as it could possibly be, you know, when you're sitting there and it's changing every month, you know, and you don't know.
Hard to forecast.
But it did do something for us, and this was wonderful because Luke and I were able to spend more time and talk more. Yeah. Our team was able to spend more time and have more discussions about other things we could do, and of course, for our wonderful supporters, everything got bigger.
That's true. That's true. I'm also the voice of reason here, which falls on deaf ears most of the time.
Luke, he's a fanboy. You can't stop it. He's his own fanboy.
Listen,
he's the biggest fan of Gooey Q products. Yeah.
Mandi, we started off with a 24-page slim module. That's what it was supposed to be.
It's in a box. It's in a box.
24 pages, slipcover. And now I don't even know where we ended up. Hundreds and hundreds of pages.
Yeah, it's in a box.
I could have told you. I could have told you, Luke. I'm sorry. I should have given you a forewarning that it was never going to stay that size. So,
but listen, that's the here's thing. The deal. You know, Luke, obviously,
yes.
Sorry, man. Go ahead. I apologize.
Oh, I'm just saying, for everybody who gets it, it is the best deal ever because my boss can't stop.
I love that, though. You know, I think that's, and you can tell from the creators that are truly in it for the hobby.
Mhm.
You know, you've got Alphinius, you've got Steve and Davis from the Troll Lords, you've got Joe Goodman.
Yeah.
You know, there's the guys that are really into it. You're right. They just can't help themselves but adding more and more things, and it's like, I mean, you know, look, we're hoping what the trolls are trying to get 600K. That Kickstarter that was supposedly ended Friday, or backer kit, I should
Yeah.
backer kit.
Mm.
It was supposed to end at 4 p.m. on Friday. It's been in overtime mode all weekend.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Good
for
for
the Mega
Yeah.
them.
Dungeon month. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we're still going. I mean, it's got several backer kits all kind of linked together, several campaigns.
Right.
And
There's
so
like
as long
3.
as somebody's pledging in any one of these campaigns, the
The timer resets.
whole union of the whole co-op moves forward. And so it's raised, gosh, an extra 15, 20K that way already.
Aw.
Yeah.
And we're just continuing to go, and you know, hey, that's all right by me.
Yeah. I really, you know, I know some people don't. I'm a fan of backer kit, to be honest. I think they've got the backs of the creators. That's, you know, I know they don't have as big of a footprint out there perhaps as Kickstarter does, but I mean, I hear nothing but good things from a lot of the guys out there that are saying, you know, they communicate with us. If we need something, they'll fix it. They'll right away, and you know, and that says something. You know, their customer service. Now, I know there's like you said, 30 creators. How come you guys didn't get in on this, man? Alphinius? What you,
Because we had to finish something we were working on that was very important to
Yeah.
us, right? It was very important. I mean, originally we were going to do the temple
Yeah.
in the first part, probably March, April of this year.
Mhm.
But because of the delays, obviously we had to push that. But we are working with BackerKit. We are excited to work with BackerKit.
Good.
And I actually have a lot of belief, and they actually do as well. It's interesting because, you know, I've kind of gone through a lot of stress with this tardiness, right? Because we're
Yeah.
late and it's bothering the heck out of me. And
Yeah.
the backer kit guy is saying to me, and I shouldn't say his name because I don't know if he'd want me to say his name, so I won't do that. But our rep at Backer Kit, who I've been talking to, is saying to me, you have done one of the best jobs of keeping your fan base informed on the process. And he says that is far more important than anything else you can do. And so I'm learning these lessons because, Luke, it's not like we've done this 100 times, right, my friend?
Well, and we do appreciate it because I am one of those backers. I believe in a lot of most of the folks that I've had on my show since I've started doing it. I've bought their products. Either I've backed their Kickstarter or their backer kit or whatever the case is, and you know, I mean, you see, well, it looks like it's behind me, but it's actually in front of me. The you know, my shelf with all the Goodman stuff. You know, a lot of that was Kickstarter stuff. So,
Yeah.
and then of
I'm
course,
not sure that the industry isn't moving strongly in that direction. Luke and I have a dear friend, Jeff Richard. Of course, you all know him from Chaosium, and Jeff
Yeah.
is very smart. He's a very he's just got a lot of game in the game industry, if that makes sense, you know. And he mentioned to me, he said, there's a lot of movement into crowd funds because it's just so risky to just do a product launch from square one with so many things that are out there. And I'm actually looking forward to going and having a little lunch with him here in the next month or two and talk a little bit about stuff. But
right.
crowd funds and honestly, crowd funds are great fun. I mean, they're wonderful.
They get you excited, especially this overtime mode they came up with. I'm like, I watched what was it? They did an 11.5-hour stream.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, I think I fell asleep during it. And then woke up and it's like they're still going.
Yeah, I tapped out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't do it. You can't go that long. It's brutal.
Yeah.
It is. It's tough.
I have a 2-year-old.
But yeah, no, it's so exciting. It's so exciting, and you really want to get the word out to as many people as you can.
Right.
As you mentioned, everybody's a true believer who's doing this sort of stuff, right?
Yes.
You know, because gaming people work in gaming. I mean, I assume for the most part because they love it more so than this is a great way for me to make money. So probably not.
The margins I don't think are that thick, are they?
No. I really want to encourage you. If you want to make money, there are many other ways to do it. Honestly, Luke, you know this. I've had a pretty storied career. I've done pretty well in businesses and things like that. No market has confuddled me like this market.
That's true.
None has confuddled me like this market. And I really wait till you get it. The Tomb is magnificent. And the environs, the campaign setting, the artwork, the quality of writing. I mean, you're going to be blown away. But the thing is, because I think there are exactly what you said, there are so many people who are just doing this for the joy and the love of it. It really does what saturate. This is a word we use in the marketing business. It saturates the market, and it spreads the opportunity across many different wonderful creators. I'm not taking away from them, but it makes it harder on those of us who are actually trying to make money.
Right.
Yeah. We have limited resources. My pockets are only so deep. Sometimes I go in a little deeper than I should.
Yes, and I back too many damn creators myself. I mean, Ms. Goo is always asking me about the credit card statement.
Yeah. One of the nice things about the backer kit, they have that pay over time, that pay in 4 option. So
makes it much easier. I love the pay in 4 actually. I think it's great.
I do. It makes. I'll tell you, there's a lot of even Kickstarter started doing it. I think Kickstarter copycatted their pay in 4. They have a pay over time, which is 3 payments. But BackerKit was the first one to do it, and it got me, man. I went. I would have just done probably the $60 or $70 pledge of something, whatever it was at that time, and they had this pay in 4, and I'm like, okay, $399 one.
This is good intel for us.
I mean,
it works. Okay.
I promise you this: you're going to get this box. It's going to blow your mind.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting with bated breath, and I know you guys. So some people already do have physical product, right?
So the first thing we could ship was the Tomb by itself,
right?
Okay. Then there were the second group of backers who backed for the Tomb and the environs, and they got the Lore Long Lost supplement along with that. But then there were people like you that got the stretch print package on top of it. And that has, by the way, Crovenloft is also in a box. Oh, it's magnificent. Wait till you see Crovenloft. And Trouble with Rats, which of course we did with Marvelous Ed, and Ed Loves Luke, and Luke got me connected with Ed. It was, and I'm talking to this guy up in Canada who is like one of my idols too, like Luke's dad was. And I'm like, would you like to help us with a module, sir? He's like, hey, yeah, of course I would.
Well, you had a lot of folks that worked, because you had Ed, right? Ed Greenwood. And then you also had, did you have Dan, Professor DM?
Professor Dan is one of the characters. There are many. Wait till you get this, and wait till you see all of the marvelous characters in this Environs location. It's going to blow your mind. Yeah. Marvelous Tim Cass, God rest his soul, is in there. Yes. I mean, there are so many. I mean, so many beautiful, and what a tribute. I mean, what a marvelous thing for us to have Tim in there. And of course, the ghost is Luke's dad, and the entire Gygax family is in there. We got the kids and everybody. We even got Grogu.
Oh, yeah. I mean, gosh, we worked on this so long ago that their character portraits look so different than they are now.
They'll have to be upgraded for the next one.
We have to do number 2.
It's like a shot in time. I'm like, oh.
But we're losing so many of them. I mean, we had Jim Ward, Tim Kask. I mean,
my brother.
And it's we gotta immortalize them while we can. Give them and keep them in the their rightful place that they earned with their hard work and their dedication for decades. I mean, these people were doing stuff. I was born in 73. So, I was first introduced to D&D in 85 or 86. I was middle school, and my buddy's like, hey, have you ever seen this thing? I think it was first edition AD&D was out then, if I'm not mistaken.
That's about right.
And so, and we were kids, we didn't know what we were doing, so we were just, we tried whatever. And unfortunately, there's so much stuff that I missed out on, that that's why I really love all the new stuff that's coming out. I've grown to appreciate the Goodman's original adventures reincarnated, because they redid a lot of that is the version of Hamlet that I've got, the Janelle Jacquet stuff. I've got Dark Tower through them, and of course that and Thracia, I think, was the last projects that she worked with them on that.
Central casting was being worked on, I think. And just
Was it?
Yeah. So that one, I think there's a lot of notes, and Becky was working on it, and then Becky passed. So yeah. So I'm not sure the status of that one.
But I mean, these people were movers and shakers in the time when, they were it, and so we want to, we want to uplift those people, and there's new generations of people that have never heard of some of these folks.
Well, we're talking about something that's been around over 50 years now.
Yeah.
So it's not a knock on any of our newer players. If you picked up the books in the last 10 years, is it fair to say that you should know who these folks are? Not unless we make an outreach and do something impactful, right?
Right.
So.
Right. And so, I appreciate, in a way, some of the trip ups that that our fellow people on the West Coast, our wizards on the West Coast there, did, kind of introduced a lot of people to, hey, there's a voluminous number of stuff and other creators out there that are all diehard fans, and it certainly did me. That's when I started going hard and heavy into a lot of the third party stuff.
Yes.
And it's just
it absolutely helped, but also you got to give them credit as well, because the open game license was unbelievable.
Yes,
right?
It was.
And I just want to say something, as a marketing guy, straight up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you make a major misstep as a company and you see it and you recognize it and you try to fix it and you are starting to do a pretty good job of changing things, we as a community need to respond well to that.
Yes.
We need to see that they are truly, they have changed their tune. I'll go back to Alphinius right now, but it is amazing, right? It is just incredible that they have turned the way they have turned, the things that they're doing, going to Gen Con, becoming back more like it was, I think it's admirable. And I know there's people who will never like them ever again because of some things, but that is not me. I am back to being very thankful that we have some people at the helm now who care. And in fact, Luke probably has more knowledge about that than any of us.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want, I mean, I know, was it Dan Ayub? Is that
that is the guy? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of good things from some of the back channel guys, from folks that I trust.
Oh no, I've had several meetings with Dan face to face. He is the right guy for the job. Absolutely. He's been gaming since he was 12. I've gamed with him AD&D late into the evenings. He came to play the Founders and Legends tournament in advance of GaryCon and was raving about it. He's hooked. He's like asking about next year and obviously going to be pro. So this is somebody who loves D&D, right? This is a D&D fan, true believer. And that's the kind of person you want in charge of the D&D franchise, right? Because and he also recognizes that there were some missteps. I mean, I don't want to take words out of his mouth, but you can look at interviews of what he said. He said, "Hey, we goofed up, and yeah, I'm here to make amends." And one of the first things he did was, when he talked to me, was apologize for the way that the franchise has treated my family, and I appreciate that. He seemed very sincere, And I think my words were, well, that wasn't your fault, Dan. But thank you for saying that.
And it goes a long way. There's just a lot of us out there that have been hurt.
Yeah.
And this is a game that we love. It's a hobby, it's a passion for us, and so we really do we really do appreciate that overture. And again, the proof will be in the black pudding.
100%. Yeah. No. Yeah. I would say that all the apologies and the goodwill gestures they're doing should open a door for folks to take a look at.
Yes.
And see what they're producing, and just give them a chance again to earn their trust in business. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
And remember, just everyone needs to remember the open game license and what happened with that in the years past enabled all the third-party creators to really have a platform for the first time, right? It really created something that was very special and very wonderful, and frankly, I think was phenomenal for their market share as well. Amazingly, even though they had all these competitors out there, the massive growth of the game that happened at that time actually helped them as well.
Right.
So it was a brilliant stroke. It was a brilliant move from a marketing standpoint.
I like to think that a rising tide lifts all boats is really true, and so we don't want them to fail. We want them to succeed, just as much as everybody else. We love this hobby, and we just want to see it go and progress. So I appreciate that. And I don't want to dwell too much on that stuff, but because we got this great product of yours, and tell me, anything last thoughts you want to say, Luke, on that before we.
Oh no, just having. There's an advantage. Dungeons and Dragons has like a 94% in the US brand recognition. And I think that extends worldwide to a pretty high percentage. That's I'll bow to Tim's knowledge here, but that kind of brand recognition is almost unheard of. That's like Coca-Cola level.
Yes.
It is worth at least $1 billion.
Right. And so just Dungeons and Dragons is going to be a front runner. They have a position of power. To have a good person, a good company, and a good product out there will make our community stronger and enable so many people coming in that then they'll be, oh, okay, D&D is cool. Oh, let me look at this other game system, whether that's Call of Cthulhu, Mork Borg, Pirate Borg, Alien, whatever.
Shadow Dark.
Shadow Dark. And retro clones and all the things, and then of course, that allows third party press to thrive, right? And continues the creativity and the vibrancy of the community. So I think it's a pretty good thing for D&D to be strong.
Yeah, I think we are entering like a new golden age, to be honest, of tabletop gaming, and as you said. Yes, it is. I forget what the term is for that, but Xerox, Band-Aid, etc. That Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Those exactly. I want an orange Coke, right? Yeah.
Well, have you ever been to Atlanta and gone to like a place that sells Pepsi, and everybody in their order is a Coke, even though Taco Bell all they sell is Pepsi products, right? But what flavor do you want of Coke?
Yeah.
You want Pepsi flavored Coke, or do you? So,
right. Yeah.
But you guys have a lot of products, and I tell you, Alphinius, I am really appreciative of the fact that with the Tomb of Gyzengaxx, and I hope I'm saying that right, guys. I know I made a typo on my first thumbnail, and I caught it right after I emailed Mandi.
I wasn't going to mention it to you because I normally don't, because people typo all the time. So I still, one of our biggest fans who creates a bunch of stuff for us, still spells his name Alphinius, which is not correct. So, we just go with it, But yeah, no.
I corrected it. I sent it right up to you.
Good catch, yeah.
It's his lesser-known brother, Alphinius.
Yeah.
And of course, then don't forget Alfabio.
Yes.
That guy.
Yeah. But I really do appreciate that you guys went and created an OSE version, compatible addition.
Thank you.
And kudos to was it Iad? Who I'm going to
AJ
get
was
on
the
here.
one. AJ was the one who really is behind the mechanics.
Iad's the one who helped you switch it over
Yes,
because
yes,
you
yes,
had
yes.
ordered the 5e,
Right.
and then you had emailed him and like, I wish I had done the OSC. I was like, well, let me send you to Iad. We have a great team. We are a small but mighty team of individuals who make Gooey go. So
And I've already hit him up because he's a huge virtual tabletop guy.
yes,
And so is my buddy Dan over here. And we're going to get him on a stream with Dan, and we're going to talk VTTs.
it's good. Yeah,
So
he's great. So
Well, we're gonna try something else. I'm tasking this Gooey crew. So y'all remember Judges Guild?
yes.
Oh my God, I'm so scared now. What are you about to say?
No, I think I know where he's going.
I want to try, within reason, to make our adventures relatively easy to convert to the top 7 or 8 systems. And I'm thinking about how to do it. AJ and I are talking, we're mapping it out. We're looking at it with Lawrence and a couple of others and trying to see, could we actually publish a single module that has that really does make it that, so it doesn't have to just say Shadow Dark, or it doesn't have to just say OSE. Could that thrive? I don't know yet, because if it isn't easy to use, it's a problem. So it has to be easy to use.
So
Dan,
I can speak a little bit. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Mandi. You go ahead.
So one of the things we run convention games at several conventions throughout the year. GaryCon is one of them. And our game masters often want to run different systems with our materials. So we've had it run with both Savage Worlds and Shadow Dark, and obviously
Pathfinder.
OSE. Yes. And already our adventures are easy to convert because they are very story centric. So we have the game adventure module on one side, and then we have an entirely different book for the GM reference book, and that's where all the 5e stats are. So basically, that adventure module is still so thick and has everything that you need in it for the story, and then all it is converting those little blocks. And so already it is very easy for several of the systems to be converted over. But yes, I think that I'm actually Alphinius totally on board with this. I think it's a great idea. So
I love it, and I appreciate it.
Wait a minute, but just make sure this is very important. I want you to clip this clip out when this happens and send this to me, because Mandi just said she fully agreed with me.
Happens rarely, but
I know, Luke. I know.
I do have clipping enabled if anybody wants to clip it.
So we see the stats. We have a great person in our community who went through all of last year's Gen Con, for instance, and did a huge, a marvelous chart for us to show us what really is in these secondary systems, what's really popping off. D&D is still king. D&D had 15,000 games, I think, run at Gen Con this last year. But obviously Shadow Dark is super interesting. They had 2,000 games running and 2,000 games sold out. They were sold out the whole weekend. And so obviously D&D is still it, but we have what is that? What is the new one? 5.5 or whatever they came out with. It's really hard to kind of keep up on our end with what they're going to be going through with the future. So I think it's a great idea to kind of find a way to make it usable, kind of future-proof it.
More universal. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's what we can do. Luke, you and I are going to have a chat about that when you and your dear wife come out here and sign some things, and I take you out to a nice dinner.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Sounds lovely. I look forward to it.
Luke, when are you coming out?
Tell Bushra, that Diane wants to see her. So
she's looking forward to it. I'm sure she's actually taken, I think, her first solo trip in maybe a decade.
Wow!
This weekend, she's in Nashville right now with a bunch of other nurses, kind of just doing hey, let's go to Nashville and blow off some steam.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's about 3 hours from me. Yeah, Nashville's not too bad. I've been out there a couple times, seen a couple of concerts. But I'd like to encourage you guys to keep doing that, because one of my favorite systems has become Castles and Crusades. I have also run some Shadow Dark. I think I like it's so easy just to run Shadow Dark. It's just you just pick it up and go. you know, and you don't have to worry about the players. It's like, no, you don't play from here, not from the sheet, you know. You know, you don't. It's some of these systems are simplified like that. It really encourages the players to think the way we did back in the day, you know. You know, and instead of always or on the phone nowadays is you know, using whatever system. It's like, man, so definitely keep it up, you know. And a lot of the stuff I figured, you know, a lot of my 5e stuff, I'm not getting rid of it. I'll probably convert it and play it in other systems, you know, and keep it alive in that way. A lot of the stuff, and that was probably what I was thinking at the time when I ordered the 5e. But I'm like, you guys have an OSA version. I really should do that, because then there's like almost no conversion. You just literally can pick it up and run with it, you know.
Well, it's also going to be a lot more exclusive because a lot less people ordered it, right? And so when you get your certificate of authenticity and the fact that it, you know, there's only a few hundred copies in the world, that's the truth.
Yeah. Dean, you've been sitting there quiet. Go ahead. I know you've got some questions.
Yeah, I've really got some questions. I'm actually taken. You mentioned something. So you're planning your module around a storybook with the kind of mechanics of the system separate to that. Is that my understanding?
Generally, that's our structure. Yes. The goal is, so because I'm an old school gamer, I sit behind a screen. I don't do VTT and all that stuff. No offense, Dan. I think they're wonderful. I think they're marvelous. Right. But for me, I want to be at the table with my friends and probably drink too much and have a whole host of things go on, you know, over the course of an evening. And so we put all the stats in one book and then put all the story in the other book, and they're all spiral bound. So you can literally have them open side by side behind your screen so that you don't have to flip or flop or any of that kind of stuff. And it makes it much easier than a single book. That's why we did it.
Fantastic. I think that's genius. And does that mean it's open? Someone could officially kind of create a version of stats for their system or another system. So someone could say, look, love the module, but I prefer Castle and Crusades. They could actually just put a PDF together, all the Castle and Crusade stuff. And I take it, they could, I wouldn't say release it, but they could give it away for free for other people to use with your module.
There is definitely we have some thought of that. There is some thought about opening up a little bit more. We're talking about a number of things, and I'm just not sure, you know, how it's going to land, you know, but that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Already some of that stuff already happens on like the Discord. We have a Discord server, and there's a lot of like, people who want to put it into like a digital realm, like Obsidian. And so they'll be on the Discord working with other people about how do we make an Obsidian library that works really well for all of the Gooey Cube stuff. So yeah.
I'm holding out for the Rollmaster conversion, but we haven't seen
Rollmaster Luke.
What about Palladium? You know,
maybe Palladium, Rollmaster, something easy. Can we get a RuneQuest version of this?
Wow.
Sure.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yes. That was my main question, because I'm actually quite taken with that. I think that's a genius approach to writing the adventure, and having the two books side by side. I'm with you, Alphinius, which is I prefer to be behind a screen with people around the table.
Yes.
Being forced to do a lot of
I spend so much damn time in front of this computer already, you know. But on the other side of the coin, I was just talking to one of my dear friends who mostly does VTT, and the reason that he mostly does VTT is because all the people he loves the most to game with no longer live nearby. And how can you argue with that?
Nope. I was going to say the same thing. Because I don't play a lot of D&D. I have a Wednesday game, which is nice. I just got into it with 2E game, which is lovely. But with the Castle Gyzaengaxx stuff, I was able to jump in and play Castles and Crusades, which, you know, it's D&D. Essentially, it's a D&D. Right? It's, you know, you're playing D&D, and it's very close. And it was fun. It was great. And I was like, yeah, what the hell? I'll play. I think I played 3 sessions over the last 4 days or something like that, right? Which is a lot for me, and it was fun, and I loved it. And we'll do some more of that, and I was like, this is not such a bad occupation.
It's not, yeah.
I have to go to work, so I'm going to play some D&D now, or Castles and Crusades in this case. Not too horrible. but yeah, there was in the chat, there was a discussion going on earlier about the best artwork, and someone had mentioned before Horseman, Parkinson, Caldwell, Elmore, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, and then someone said, "Don't forget Brahm," who I got to meet Brahm at GaryCon for the first time. Really nice guy. I would say we forget about this person, but he was really very good and very influential. Would be David Trampier. He was so good. And I know he wasn't that golden age. He stepped away right before kind of the golden age. No one knows exactly why. There's supposition out there. I can't tell you. I was a little boy and I knew him, but he was working on a drafting table, like drawing,
Wow.
D&D art. Right across from Dave Sutherland. They had their drawing tables face to face, and we're in there working all the time, right? So, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. But yeah, Trampier is amazing, and I no doubt. All those gentlemen were really fantastic.
Can I plug GaryCon here? I just gotta say,
Absolutely.
Luke's convention that he runs. I mean, the accessibility that you have to these amazing artists, writers, legends of the game is extraordinary. So, if you have not had a chance to go out, I think it's such a wonderful con.
Yeah, we love GaryCon. It's magnificent, Luke. It's just wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
I would love to go to that, and of course,
I told you, Jeff, you can stay in my basement. It's 50 minutes north.
Yeah, so Dan actually
was awesome this year.
Just south in Illinois, and I'm down here in East Tennessee. I'm going to the CNY Con. By the way, I want to mention, I just put it up there. We have a giveaway. This is my first time ever doing a giveaway, but if anybody is looking to go to CNY Con, you can enter !CNY Con in the chat, and it should tag an entry. So CNY Con is a nice little con too. That's in central New York. I think it's near Utica, just like an hour outside of Syracuse. So that's my wife and I are going to be going up to that. It's the week after North Texas, which is another big con for the small con levels.
I was gonna say it's a small con, but yeah, it's an important con.
Yeah, it's one of and there's a lot of folks that go to that. Now, Gen Con, GaryCon, and even your sister Heidi and her husband Eric, they've got EggCon coming up, EggCon 3 in July.
I think that's right. Yeah, EggCon 3. Yep.
So, and I think Bill Sylvie's going to be up there. So
that sounds great.
Yeah, I'm if I can swing it, I'll try. It's just I can't do both North Texas and CNY because they're like literally a week apart, and my boss would kill me.
Yeah,
but maybe a month apart, I might be able if I can, if my wife doesn't kill me.
Everybody needs to enter that giveaway. That's important. But Jeff, I just want to say something real quick to Dan, because I don't want Dan to think I'm a hater. One of the things that I love about our stuff is that we have all those art handouts and all the character portraits and things like that, which I think are truly very additive to VTT tables. Yeah. So, I don't want you to think I wasn't thinking about you all just because I'm traditionalist,
And Jeff said, I do love VTTs because I get to play more. Right. If I could have every game be in person in my basement, I absolutely would. But my friends have, they're about an hour away, wife, kids, blah, blah, blah. So, but I love them. And anytime you can get a module that has like the token packs and the player facing maps,
it does help.
Amazing.
It does help a lot.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
If I may plug, so both Gaxworks, I believe, and Gooey Cube have games being run on a virtual con. It's called MagmaCon. It's July 10th through the 12th, run by Joe Ingenito. And they put together VTT games that are incredible. So they use the handouts. Yeah.
If you drop the link in the private chat, I can post it in there for you.
Let me figure that out. So, and then also,
I didn't even know we had a private chat. I hope you haven't been saying that about me.
Yeah, it's down here.
Can you shut the old guy up for a minute?
And then on top of that, Gen Con schedule just got released. Luke, are you running any games at Gen Con this year or going to Gen Con?
Yeah, I was. I have some games scheduled, but Wizards has kind of put out their schedule, and so I've had to scuttle a few of my plans. So I'm not sure how it's going to shake out, but I think I'm going to be doing at least a seminar on world building from the
Awesome.
Gygax Academy, which is something that we're looking to roll out here on how to be a better DM or game master in general. And then I think I'll be running at least Tomb of Horrors, I think, on one night, and maybe a little Rogue's Gambit as well, and some private games that I'll be running, and then a couple seminars and running some events, I think, at the Wizards of the Coast booth.
Oh, fun.
And Gen Con will also be the quiet beginning of the launch of Gyzaengaxx 2. And we are very excited about that. That will be done on Backer Kit. We're actually going to spend the next 120 days developing the materials as far along as we can get them ahead of time. I'm never going to go through what I went through. I'm not going through what I went through again. It gave this old man heart failure.
So the bet is, what was it? September. You want to have the adventure and the environs produced, like digital downloads ready to go.
Correct. By the end of September. That's my bet with Mandi.
It's the end of September now. Okay. Originally it was by September. No, it's the end of September.
Well,
now.
What do you mean by September is the end of September, cameraman?
Okay. Sounds good. So we're going to be doing slime again, Luke. You have endured the slime. So if he manages to do it, I will get a bucket of slime.
Oh, nice.
You're going to get slimed?
Yeah.
Kind of like
I'm not going to get slimed because there's no way that this is happening. But if Alphinius manages...
Okay, you're volunteering.
Yeah. Okay. I will be more than happy to take a bucket of slime if they actually manage to produce by September or by the end of September these materials. So, yeah. But no matter what, it's going to be amazing because, again, he is a fanboy and he can't put anything out that isn't incredible. So,
well, and Luke and I have already talked about it. We've got this wonderful village of Blun, which of course is our homage to Nob, right? Mm-hmm. And these really wonderful, terrible characters who are there. And if everything works the way I hope it's going to work, it's not a go in and fight your way through Blun. It's a go in and infiltrate Blun and try to be spies. Mm-hmm. And what happens?
Didn't we make it so that obviously anything you run into, it's geared exactly to your level, so you should fight it, right? Wasn't that? Yes, we talked about how this was the way we wanted to. No? Oh no, I got that wrong.
So, Roy Upton in the chat says, talking about.
Hey, Roy.
Yeah, he said that was great at Genghis Khan. Wasn't that your con, Alphinius? Wasn't that?
So we love Donnie and Andrea. They're the ones who run the convention.
Okay.
Yes, Genghis Khan is a magnificent little convention in Denver. If you haven't been, you should come. Luke has been there. It's really wonderful.
I've been there like the last 4 years. It's great.
Have you really? Yeah. Okay. Well, I am looking at, and we've got Chris Moneymaker in the chat too, who I'm helping with. He's putting on a Dark Sun focus con here in Knoxville.
Nice.
So that's going to be fun, and in return, I'm going to be putting on an OSR and OSR adjacent focus con at some point in time as well here in the East Tennessee area. So,
do you know who had the first seminar with Troy Denning and Gerald Brom on it, talking about Dark Sun?
No.
GaryCon 18. That was the first time they'd ever had a panel together talking about Dark Sun. If you believe it was a GaryCon this year.
Yeah, I know. Chris was trying to get some of the guys that was involved in the creation to come to the con. He had been in talks, so I don't know if that's progressed anymore. But that's, if you're into Dark Sun, and he lives and breathes Dark Sun, Chris does. Yeah. So, because I played in one game and it was at his house. he's about an hour and 20-minute drive from me, but one up there, had a blast. Didn't slide off the roads, which was good because we were worried about that. It was one of those, it's winter again in Tennessee type of situations. But he lives and breathes it. And that's going to be right at the Knoxville Hilton Airport coming up in October, I want to say 24th, 25th, something like that. So Me, I'm looking a little more conservatively at a smaller convention center. Maybe something that holds 200-300 people. But we don't know. I don't. We're gonna see how his goes. I'm looking probably to do mine in 2027. And so I'm trying to hit up some of these other small cons and kind of get some ideas. And I'll take any advice I can get from you guys. So.
Yeah, Luke, what is the secret ingredient? Is there a secret ingredient to having such a successful con?
Yeah, Luke, you what have you done?
Well, I think what makes GaryCon special is that it's kind of family run, and it has a different origin story than a lot of other conventions, and that may be hard to replicate on a commercial scale. But the other thing I did for the first probably 10 years is any revenue that we had, I basically just found ways to put back into the company to make it better, because my goal was really, it was a memorial convention in my mind, and so it was not about making money, it was about providing the experience to the people who were coming, and so that was really central to what I was doing. It's held in a very comfortable space. It's held in a resort, and the focus is on games. It's not on the vendor hall. So my focus is on making your gaming experience the best that it can be. The vendor hall is great and it's wonderful. I love having the vendors there, but that's a secondary thing. The focus, it's about gaming, and people really enjoy that. We regulate how many people attend based on how many seats there are for people to play games. And so if we don't have enough events, then, we usually make sure it's a comfortable number of badges that we release. And then after events have been submitted, we recalculate and say, okay, we can take so many more people, then we offer that many badges. So there will always be seats for you to play in if you have a badge at GaryCon. You're not going to be wandering around looking for a game. There'll be open seats there. And we just try to, keep it really friendly and familial. And people.
It's also got a great bar.
Yes,
Great
that's
bar,
helpful.
huh?
That's helpful. There's a lot of liquor. I think that's the secret. A lot of liquor. But no, it's just a great vibe. If you were to come alone to GaryCon, I guarantee you, I should never say that.
You won't leave alone.
Wait a minute, hold on.
That was one way.
Is that where you're going? You weren't going there.
Leave alone. But you will have made some friends.
Yes.
There'll be people that you will contact in between the year and have a good time. Just as an example, there's a guy named Steve Medway who I met I was lucky enough to go to the first tabletop convention in Dubai, and in the UAE in Dubai. And I met a guy from Australia named Steve Medway who made a game called Blood on the Clock Tower. I had never heard of it. It's a very popular social deduction game. Really super nice guy who loves D&D, right? So he said, GaryCon, I 1,000% want to come to GaryCon. So he came. And I didn't see him when he arrived on, I think it was Wednesday night or something like that. He said, I came in, I observed the atmosphere, I sat by the fireplace, and within an hour and a half, I was texting my friends back in Australia saying, we are coming, I'm bringing you guys next year. This is an amazing convention. You're going to love it.
That is awesome.
Right? And so it's just something about kind of all the people coming there with the intention of having a great time, loving the game. It just kind of, this wave of energy permeates the area. And so that's very hard to replicate. So I'm sorry, I can't give good advice there. I do have some tactics for how to manage a convention in some other areas, but I think that's the secret sauce that GaryCon has that others can't.
Yeah. I loved, Blood on the Clock Tower. I got to jump in, you do open gaming tables at GaryCon, which I think is a great idea. I think anyone, if you grab a board game or anything, it's great to have a place to go set up and run it. But there was just a GM there who wasn't on the schedule. He was just looking for players for Blood on the Clock Tower, and we were waiting for our games to wrap up in the Gooey Cube room. I got to hop in, and I had the most spectacular time with just random people who had just passed by and were open to playing a game. I think having that kind of connection, that kind of community where you can just hop into some random person's game is phenomenal. So, and I think that's an atmosphere that you can achieve whether it's a GaryCon or any other convention.
That's true. And
Yeah.
that was very purposeful. So I remember conventions of my youth. I was just a kid walking around, and I'd go up and say, "Hey, what are you playing?" And people were like, "Oh yeah, sit down, kid. Let me show you." Right.
Yeah.
And I went to a convention in the Bay Area. It might have been KublaCon. And I walked up to some people. I was like, "Oh wow, that looks like a really neat game. What are you doing?" And they like stopped and stared at me and didn't say anything. Just like, "How dare you talk to us?" And come to. I was like, "Sorry, man. Sorry. All right." And I just left. I was like, "Wow, that is like a very different atmosphere than I'm expecting at a gaming convention where we're like all part of the nerd tribe, right? So we
Right.
welcome each other." And so I was like, I don't want that. I very much want what I remember. And so at GaryCon, I said, we don't charge for events. And, you pay the badge fee. That's it. And then we'll put up basically cards on a table. Green card means you are early enough that you can take new players and you have a spare seat. Red card means you don't have any room or you're too far along in the adventure to take somebody. But if you see a green card, walk up and say, "Hey, I'd like to join." Great, here's a character. Boom.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And that's how you make friends. It's okay. Yeah. This is your excuse to go up and talk. I have a green card there. You want a player. An empty seat is a wasted opportunity. It's a wasted opportunity.
Connection. It's a wasted connection. Yeah. Potential connection. That's interesting because, like I said, my wife and I were driving up to CNYCon, and it's probably going to be the furthest I've driven for any kind of convention for any of my hobbies. 13 hours.
That's a long haul.
That's what it says. It says 13 hours is what Google says, but I don't think that includes stopping to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I'm old. I'm in my 50s, man, and so is my wife. And some of the meds we're on.
Yeah.
When you got to go, you got to go. I'm thinking, it's probably going to be more realistically about 16 hours to get there. Yeah. We're hoping to make a lot of connections. I'm hoping to get, there's going to be a lot of folks up there. Unfortunately, Talanian is not going to be able to make this year because he is, I think his daughter's coming home from college.
Oh, wow.
So that takes a little bit of priority. I got you. You got to go get the daughter. But I think he normally is there.
I can't believe like Sky's in college. That's weird.
That's what
like she's Miriam's age. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, my I'm 53. My stepson is 29. So, it's like,
yeah.
I keep on telling my wife I'm not old enough to be a grandfather because she so badly wants to be a grandma. And I'm like, no, I'm not old enough. Never mind that I remember when my grandfather was 50 and retired from the steel mills. So, but so you guys have had a lot of folks work on this project with you guys. What is the big what's the big pitch, Alphinius, on Tomb of Gyzengaxx? And for folks that didn't get it up on it.
Well, they still can. So you can actually sneak onto the backer kit, and quite a few people
late pledge.
The crowdfund actually think the total amount of the crowdfund was approached $800,000, and we actually did sell some Orkrim materials.
Yeah,
we got some money out of that, which was wonderful. Yeah. People gave him some support, and we sold a few Gooey things that were not related to Gyzaengaxx, but it was very, very successful. And people can still get, and they should, because the price point, once this stuff comes and it has to go up a little bit. It's just too much. So the tale is about this village called Ethholm. And Ethholm, of course, is our homage to Hamlet, and it actually is an anagram of Hamlet. And all of the amazing people that you find there, but it really centers around a wizard's tower. I wish Mandi had her video queued up, because she did one heck of a video for this Tomb of Gyzengaxx. It was, it's spectacular. And basically what's happened is that the wizard Geralt Gyzaengaxx has disappeared, and his son Luke is looking for him and trying to figure out what he needs to do to find him. And that's the beginning of the tale, and ultimately the adventurers will end up going into the Tower of Gyzengaxx, which is now referred to as the Tomb of Gyzengaxx. And of course, that was our homage to the Tomb of Horrors, was to name it the Tomb of Gyzengaxx.
Yes.
So, Luke, I don't know. What do you want to add to that? Because there's a lot to add.
Oh yeah, and so there's some loving lampooning going on there, some cool Easter eggs that are throughout. So its core is a great adventure, right? That's full of fun, adventure, puzzle solving, a sleuthing. So that's the core. But then there's little fun bits in there as well. And we recruited a lot of folks to be involved with the Kickstarter. And instead, as a change, instead of going and saying, "Hey, could you create a magic item, a character, an encounter, or whatever for us? Could we put you as a character in Ethel?" And most people were like, "Oh yeah, that's great." So they get to kind of be memorialized in the Tomb of Gyzengaxx that way. And so we got anywhere from like Skip Williams and Margaret Weiss and Zeb Cook and so many people in there and having a good time.
And it's their likeness for the most part, except for Margaret's character. But everyone else, like, they took their own picture, and it's their portrait is based on their own face. And it's very.
I love that. I love that. It was great.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it again in Gyzengaxx 2 because we've got Blun, and we're gonna have some nefarious characters, and then it was pretty amazing, Luke. Really nobody told us no. I mean, you reached out, and they were all like, "We'd love to be a part of it. We'd love to do it." And
the only no we got was from Weird Al Yankovic's agent.
That's right, Weird Al Yankovic's agent.
Did you
said
really?
No. That was the only one.
Is it? That I wonder if Weird Al knows. I'll bet
he probably doesn't. I would suspect he doesn't.
Yeah. Because he's the one that always tries to reach out and get people. I mean, of course.
How did I not know he was into D&D? Was it? Wait. Were you trying to get the agent, or were you trying to get Weird Al's portrait?
I was just. We came up with a really cool idea for a character that was that would have been very close to Weird Al Yankovic, and it would have been great to have his likeness and be able to do that. But of course, the agent is like, "How much of this is he getting, and what's the projected revenues?" I was like, "No, it's not like that. I'm sorry." And he's like, "All right, stop bothering me, kid."
I mean, he did White and Nerdy. Come on.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
And he talked about D&D in that.
I think he would have been fine if I had known. If I had walked up to Weird Al and been like, "Hey, Weird Al, here's the situation," he'd probably be like, "Hell yeah, that's awesome." And here's my email. We'll make it happen.
When you talk to Weird Al, you call him Weird Al. Like, "Hey, Weird Al, how's it going?"
Yeah, no, I've never met Weird Al.
Okay.
But I have walked. I walked past him on the street when I was like in ninth grade, out in Westwood.
Luke, what a life! Okay.
Yeah, that was it. And I was like, "That's Weird Al Yankovic," but that was it. Yeah, I never got to meet him.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's funny.
But
I didn't even know that story. That's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He was the one who said no, but it really wasn't him. I agree with you, Luke. But Jeff, I can't wait till you get it. I mean, we're already getting a lot of commentary, and maybe you've seen some of the stuff that people are saying and have shown their boxes. The problem is, I think there's a lot of people who are not opening their boxes, right? Because they're very collectible, right? And so, and many of us in nerddom are collectors. And so, but we're getting a lot of good commentary on materials that people have started reading, and the production values are ridiculous. So hopefully we can.
I'm just looking at this stuff. I mean, gosh.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
our maps are magnificent, man.
I mean, this is the stuff I got for the dungeon of, is it
Gyzaengaxx?
Gyzaengaxx. I mean, I opened it up, and once I broke the shrink, I was like, holy cow, it's like, I mean, this stuff is, look at this stuff. This is awesome,
So if
the thing is,
and there's a stack.
Good, Mandi.
I was
Go
gonna say, if
on.
you're gonna pitch the product, we do maps. We do a GM version and a player version. So you have two copies, one for you, one for your player. We
Yeah.
do handouts for basically everything, portraited characters, and it's beautiful color artwork that you get in a stack, so you can pass it around the table or clip it up to your board. You're not showing a little tiny thing in a book. You're really able to immerse your players in it. We have special Gooey reward cards for inspiration. We have magic item cards portraited or pictured or whatever, and you can slip them into like a baseball sleeve. Like, it really is functional for game masters because it's developed by Alphinius, who's a game master. And
Just wanted
things
to make it easier. All the things that
yeah.
I'd always heard about, and honestly, half of them weren't my idea in the first place, right? It was other people's ideas that told me through the years. What if we had this? What if we had that? Right? Obviously, magic item cards are not new, right? We've had them for a long, long time. But the goal of the whole thing really is to create a great tale, and I believe that is what we achieved, and I'm pretty excited about that. And I can't wait for two, because they go into F home. They're going to have to infiltrate that thing, figure that out, and then hopefully survive that and go to the temple. And then we'll see what happens.
Or if they didn't survive, they can just roll up new characters.
Yes, they can roll up new characters.
So yeah.
Yeah, Dan was giving me a correction here. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, I could see you. I could see you correcting. I was like, "Oh, Jeff is in the teeth of production right now."
Yeah. That happens.
That's why I'm here.
Felt this pain. Lean into it. Low budget production.
Agile's got the right idea, though. That's why you buy two.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered an extra Crovenloft to use at the table. So,
bro,
man.
I am telling you, it is a great tale. It is really, really good. It could even be special. It depends on how you play Stratanava, who is the key BEBEG, and how you. But it could be a very special experience for players. We'll have to see. Paul is in the chat. Paul was one of our lead writer, or was our lead writer on the project, and Luke knows this, that we try to give lots of people a chance to write. And give them an opportunity to get a chance to do something that most don't get in the world. So, and also all of our artworks, there's no machines making our art. There's all human beings. So that's very important to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm the plugger in this.
No, you're doing a great job.
So, if I may plug, Paul will be running 4 sessions of Crovenloft at Gen Con in the private suites. It's $50 per game, and there's 4 sessions of that available for 6 players apiece. So and Alphinius will be running 2 sessions of A Trouble with Rats, which is what he wrote with Ed Greenwood, and those are higher priced because I think it comes with booze and Alphinius. So
mostly the booze.
It's mostly Alphinius. The booze. He's got all the Ham's ice you can drink.
Yes. Now, in fairness, don't forget that Trouble with Rats was not just Ed and I. It also was Marvelous Patrick Kenny and Carrie, our dear Carrie, who also put some good effort into that. That's another marvelous little tale. First level adventure. That's right. First.
And how about Down a Hole? Is that ever
a hole in the ground?
A hole in the ground, not down a hole. A hole in the ground.
They did. Remember, we didn't make it, Luke. So we're gonna have to do that in the next one, right? We're gonna have to address that in the.
We've run it a couple times. We haven't that was a little bit more free form. We
had fun with that, though, didn't we, sir?
It was great. Yeah.
I like having a game though that you guys can run for that's just in the background that people haven't played yet. For your VIP games. Just putting that out there. But if you can throw it into a Kickstarter, I think that'd be awesome. That got great reviews. So separately,
Davina says
Luke and I are really cool, and we got them all drunk.
Someone said, "Can you imagine Ed Greenwood running a game if you come to GaryCon and you get pretty lucky, or buy a fancy badge? You can play with it. But there's always a chance."
I love that.
He would be awesome to speak with.
Ed is just a great guy, by the way. He's such a nice human being. He's Canadian, There you go.
I know. I know. I think I'm one of his on his Patreon. And it's like I got limited funds to spread around, but I'm like, yeah, I like getting the stuff from Ed because it's a pleasure just to read it. His unique witty posts on his Patreon.
Well, this is a window into Ed Greenwood. So he is a librarian up in Canada, north of Toronto, and he could retire. He has plenty of work to do in gaming, right? He
Right.
doesn't retire because the Canadian government is not hiring vacancies due to budgetary reasons in the library, and he works. A lot of his coworkers have, children who are getting older, who are graduating high school and college. And he's like, if I retire, they won't have anyone they won't be able to take vacation time to go see their kids graduate.
Aww.
So he said, I just stick in there and work with all the ladies and whatever and that sort of stuff. Cause I feel like, I want to do that for them. So that's the kind of person Ed Greenwood is. He's a very, very nice man. So,
and if you meet Ed at GaryCon and ask him about the library ladies, he will have a million hilarious stories about all of his adventures
He
with
does.
them. Yes. So
Agile Monk, he's the patron paint, is it the patron saint? Tongue twist. The patron saint of the D&D YouTube, especially the OSR group. He says, please let Alphinius know that he has made such a difference with the amazing products they create. And Camera Mandi is amazing. He was on the first giant cube they did.
yes.
What is that?
So Agile Monk is years I think that we've known them through like Twitch, but we have Chet Mitten is an incredible artist who how would you describe his style? He did Gary Con's poster like last year, I want to say.
He did. It's very stylized. It was 2 years ago, but yeah, it's very, very stylized.
Yes. Anyway,
Mandy, your shirt.
Oh,
yeah. There you go.
Thank you, Alphinius. I am wearing a Chet Mitten shirt. Anyway, he produced for us at Gen Con. We have like a 8 by 8 foot by 8 foot.
Yes, I flipped.
There we go. Yes. Cube that floats over our it's massive. It's a huge cube that floats over our booth at Gen Con, and he did all 4 sides of it. It's here. I know I feel awkward now because I'm big on the screen, but anyway, let me see if I can get this even better. I don't know. I threw out my back yesterday, so I'm not doing a great job stretching. I'm sorry. Anyway, all this to say, we did part of the Kickstarter was like, if you throw in, I think it was like $20 or something like that, you can put your name on the cube. And so the bottom of the cube is filled with people who contributed extra to have their name put on the cube. So an Agile Monk is one of them. So anyway, that's that story.
I love him. He is truly a brother. Him and his son that I've talked to, I've had them both on the show. He's got Zendria, I think, is his setting that he's coming out with.
Oh, that's a beautiful name for a setting.
Oh, let me tell you. And the stuff I've seen is awesome. So I'm trying to help. I try to help everybody I can do whatever I can. So I talk to him. He calls me up sometimes, and I hope he's doing better, man. I hope you're doing all right because he had some health issues too, and of course, him and his son are both vets as well. So all you guys that served, yourself included, Luke. Thank you for your service to all of you guys. My brother, I've got my parents took in foster kids. One of my foster brothers is a retired master sergeant from the Army. So, I didn't get to serve. I tried. They didn't want me. But what can I do, right? So I just want to make sure that I do support all the vets out there, and he's doing some great stuff too, man. Because I think he got was it for I think for EggCon, I think he donated a whole bunch of badges to veterans.
Oh,
so
Good.
So, like I said, yes, the patron saint, whatever. Yeah, patron saint. At any rate,
paint of
yeah, I can come up with those tongue twisters too, But anything else that you guys have coming up? What do you guys have? So the Ignatius. I got the Ignatius word. Give me the spiel.
Inquinatius.
The Temple of Inquinatius Evil.
Inquinatius.
So the back. We're going to launch the backer kit or the crowdfunding campaign at Gen Con. Is that pretty much the time frame still?
Soft launch it at Gen Con.
Okay.
And then the goal will be between sometime in September. The crowdfund will actually start, and then it will finish before the end of October.
Okay, so we'll get our signups at Gen Con and stuff like that.
Yes,
so, okay, that's great. And I'm telling you, man, it's tough out there. There's so much product. You really have to get after it and let people know. And I think that's the hardest part, is just letting people know that you have a project that's out there, and then those who want to partake will do it. It's just getting information in front of them that's the hard part. And gosh, the reception to Tomb of Gyzengaxx was fantastic. I mean, it was 3,000 or pert near?
It was over 3,000 when all was said and done. Yeah, over 3,000 backers. And the thing is, Luke, as you know this, we spent quite a bit of money on advertising. Yes. And that is very important because what Luke said is absolutely right. It's very hard to hit your potential just hoping for it through social media channels and your own promotions and emails and things like that. It's very hard to do that. And so you got to spend money on advertising, and we spent quite a bit on the Tomb of Gyzengaxx, and we plan on spending every bit of that and more on this next project. But I'm really excited for it. So the temple is actually, all of this is north of the Gyzaengaxx environs, and the temple is actually set in the middle of this really scary, sort of grim, dark, corrupted area called the Schadenmeer. And we're going to have all of the community help make the Schadenmeer. They're going to get to contribute little locations and things like that they can actually place there. And so I think it's going to be a wonderful project, and I can't wait to see how it all shapes out by the time we get it pretty much finished by September. Right,
6
Mandi?
months, 120 days, 13 hours, 29. Somebody found a link. Dan is on the ball, man. He found the link for the pre-order. Right now, only 22 people. I dropped the link in the chat too. So
and I spelled it right.
Nice.
And someone gave a shout out to Mandy's husband, Lawrence.
Oh, no, wrong. Why? My actual husband's watching this,
Oh, was that your?
I say that because
I
have a sister, and I have been places, and they're like, "Oh, are you guys husband and wife?" And it's the most horrible thing that anyone can say to you. It's just awful.
You know what? I get it for both Alphinius and for Lawrence. I've been called Alphinius's wife, and no. So that's
all right.
I'd get arrested.
He is my brother. Yes, brother. And Alphinius is my godfather. So it's a family business. Yeah, sorry, where were you going with that though, Luke?
Oh, someone gave a shout out and said major props to Gooey Lawrence as well, which is your brother, and I thought we want to mention that. Although he's out of town, and when I texted him and said, "Hey, is there something going on tonight or whatever," to confirm, he's like, "I have no idea. I'm out of town. Here's some pictures of me doing other fun stuff."
Well, when you guys do launch this 6 months from now, more or less, I would love for you guys to come back on and promote it at some point. You absolutely are most welcome. Any of you guys, same thing with you, Luke. If you've got anything that you're going to be working on, maybe when is Gary Con?
Gary Con's every March, so it'll be March 18th to 21st, 2027, at the Grand Geneva Resort in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And we'll have the site up and probably badges that go on sale about mid-July. I usually try to do it around my dad's birthday, July 27th, but sometimes that conflicts with EggCon, so I've kind of offset that so that it doesn't compete there. And I don't want to go later because that's Gen Con time.
If you go too much earlier, it might be snow time, right?
Well,
although I heard
sometimes it is.
Yeah.
So my dad passed away March 4th of 2008, and Gary Con came out of basically the wake that we had after his funeral.
Right.
because so many people said we just wanted to, Gary Gygax. I didn't know the guy, but he was important to me. I feel like he was sort of an uncle to me. And so some folks said they were going to drive to Lake Geneva and make a pilgrimage. The funeral was small and private, so I rented American Legion Hall where there used to be. It was one of the sites of Gen Con and other small conventions that in the early days that I had those fond memories of. And so I just rented that. My brothers and sisters, we brought dishes to pass and put up the D&D cartoon and the Futurama episode he was on. Had a podium where we could share stories about my dad, but everybody played games, whether it was board games, card games, D&D, role-playing games, whatever it was. My dad loved gaming of all sorts. And people just had a good time sharing camaraderie and fellowship around the table. And that was really cathartic. And so that's how GaryCon got started.
That's awesome, man.
And that's why I hold it in March every year.
Yeah, and unfortunately, my birthday is the next day. I was born on the 5th of March, and got married on the Ides of March and the 15th. So, she planned it that way too, by the way. And she's listening. She's at work right now. She's listening.
Well, you guys could take your anniversary trip to GaryCon.
I think you should.
You know what?
Celebration at the same time.
It is so fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I would recommend if you go. This is the first year, Luke. I got to drive around the lake.
Oh yeah.
The town is really beautiful. Lake Geneva is really. I did not know. I've always just come and gone straight to the hotel, and the hotel is beautiful too because it was old Playboy Mansion.
Right.
It's very interesting. But yeah, if you have a chance, like literally the town around it too is gorgeous. So it's a good trip for the whole fam. Yeah. May I plug one more thing? I'm sorry.
Sure. No.
I know. I'm the plugging lady. Okay. Anyway, I don't want that nickname. Please don't. Anyway, we have coming out. I know. Apologies. Anyway, Gloomport is coming out. We have a box set. It's called Darkenhaven. It's 2.5 inches wide, right? Alphinius, is that right? It's 11 pounds of amazing material. Mm-hmm. The sister box, the Gloomport, is coming out in like the next month?
Very close.
Yes.
We'll drop the digitals probably within 10 days. It's the city of my dreams. Listen, so if you all remember, the marvelous Ed Greenwood, the magnificent Ed Greenwood, created a place called Skullport in Waterdeep.
Yep.
And there was much that I loved about Skullport and what it was, but it had a secret entrance. So you had to kind of go through a portal, and there was other things like that. And I just wanted a big, scary, interesting, wild portage in a huge cave. That's what I wanted. And I wanted to homage Ed's Skullport a little bit with that. And so Darkenhaven sits atop the Black Shoal Cliffs, and down beneath it, to the left of the city, 2 great waterfalls come down and fall on either side of a massive opening of a sea cave that enters in underneath Darkenhaven. And I have to tell you, the effort that was put in on it by the team, the artworks are incredible. The locations are magnificent. We had so many contributions from our community and the places, and the maps are spectacular, done by Edvard. And I am incredibly proud of the Gloomport, and it is just about to be released. And if you take the Gloomport and you take Darkenhaven on top of it, and you take the Mornwood to the side of it, you have just this magnificent campaign area that is marvelous. The problem is I'm now torn between campaigning there versus the environments of Gyzaengaxx. It is a conflictive thing for me now.
You can do it all, Alphinius.
We try to do it all best as we can.
So I have 2 entries.
The giveaway.
Yeah, I have two entries in the giveaway right now. So if anybody else, you do have to be on the Tennessee Tabletop Tavern channel, on the YouTube channel, because I do multi-stream. I've got a Rumble channel, and I also simulcast, I guess you could. This is being simulcast on Sci-Fi for Me TV. So if you guys are able to drive or able to fly or able to get to Central New York and would like to go to the con, it's coming up I think my wife was telling me it's about 30 so many days and whatever. It's coming up in June. It's the week after North Texas Con. And like I said, Luke, I would love to have you come on anytime if you want to talk about Gary Con, promote that. Absolutely. If you've got any new products coming up, I know you've got a bunch of stuff going on with Gaxworks.
Oh yeah, we've got Melt's Guide to Greyhawk coming up probably in a 2027 release. That's through Wizards. That's gonna be a big deal.
That's an official product, right?
That's to be an official product. There'll be announcements at Gen Con. They'll discuss a little bit more about what they're doing there, but I'm very excited for that. Also, of course, Castle Zagig Act 2 is going now, so it's an overtime. Then we'll have through Troll Lords, they'll be publishing Gord the Rogue, the novel series. And I did right, and we're looking at possibly putting together what I would say a Thieves World anthology style of Gord adventures in Greyhawk as when he kind of has that break as Catburger.
Luke, I love Thieves World. Robert Aspirin was sort of the coordinator of it, right? And what a great series! What a great series!
Yep. And so I'm hoping that we can put together something that'd be hope to aspire to something as awesome as what Thieves World was there. And then of course this summer we've got the Temple of Equinatius, I believe is the way to pronounce it, evil, that we're looking at there. And then, for me, it's really planning Gary Con, making appearances. I've got this really wonderful, what I thought would be a one-time special event, which we called Gary Con's gotten bigger over the years. It started off as mostly an old school kind of event for the first several years. And then, of course, as more people came, we were playing Pathfinder and then, 5th edition, etc. And so we got more and more guests. It grew more and more. And on the 50th anniversary in 2024, I said, hey, it would be really nice to have a smaller convention that was kind of like an early Gary Con that's just 400 people. And I called that Founders and Legends. And I thought, how are we going to really recognize the 50th anniversary of D&D? And I was thinking maybe we could do a panel where we have somebody who was involved in, all the editions, OD&D 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. And they could talk about differences. And I thought about this. That's really not satisfying. How do we learn about D&D? How do we really experience it? We play the game, right?
Yes.
So why don't we play? You play a character and you evolve or metamorphose your character, metamorphosize from 0 to 5 in the same campaign as the same character. And so I came up with this screwy idea, recruited some people, and I got, Zeb Cook and Mike Merles and Kelsey Dion and Keith Baker and my friend Andrew Perry. Mm-hmm. And we all put our heads together and designed this cool 2.5 day event where you would come in, form teams, and play 16 hours of D&D and do this. And I thought, okay, that was glad we're done with that. That was cool, right? And then people were like, I want to sign up for the next one. How do we continue this adventure? And so that's gone very well. And I think there's enough demand now that I really want to take that as a road show. And just what a great experience to be able to play.
That would be awesome.
And see the differences of every edition. And it really makes a difference in what you focus on, how you play, and what the objectives are. The rules have a pretty big impact. And probably the most surprising takeaway I came from Founders and Legends tournament was people actually like 4th edition. We're
really?
Yeah. When you get it run, and Keith Baker usually runs it for us. He's kind of our expert. People really enjoy it. It's a great miniature-centric game.
It's a miniature tactical game, is really. And if it had been named D&D Tactics or something like that, and not considered the addition of that, but a lot of people say that it would have been a lot more successful.
And I agree. For me, it doesn't feel like what I think Dungeons and Dragons is. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that's my personal opinion. Some people love 4th edition, and that's how they envision D&D. That's how they introduce D&D. Great. There's no wrong way to play D&D so long as everybody's having a good time, right? That's my opinion. Yeah. People love it. And so taking that as a road show and just getting out there and
that would be cool.
Teaching, showing people all the editions of D&D and the many, many ways that there are to enjoy it. Because what's old, we talked about kind of a tie back earlier. how could we be upset with people who've just entered the hobby in the last 5-10 years for not knowing what somebody did in 1978? Right?
Well, it's our job of all of us that are, still spry enough to be able to get up there and do stuff, and know that stuff to make sure that the younger generations of tabletop gamers know about it.
But just the puzzle of going through the dungeon and having to map it and figure out where you're at.
Oh yeah. You were kind of doing that in your game earlier today, right?
That's cool. What do you mean I got a map and keep track myself? That's great. Oh, make a saving throw. Okay. I didn't make that one. All right, you're dead. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're dead? Yeah, you're dead. It's save or die. What? Oh my God, that's so. That like this is a real stakes, And then
level drain, make level drain.
Level
awesome
drain is
again.
still the most terrifying thing. That's still the most terrifying thing for me. There's nothing like, oh my God, there's certain things that through PTSD for the old players, but
there's a reason why every old head runs around with a 10-foot pole and pittons and
level drain's the reason my favorite class is cleric.
Cleric. I was playing cleric. I mean, I don't like playing cleric because that's kind of like I'm the boring like support character, but they are vital. If you don't have a cleric, you are really inviting and courting disaster. You got to have that cleric in there.
Absolutely. So. That's awesome. Alphinius.
Yes, my friend.
It's been a very good pleasure having you on board. Agile said, give you mad props to all your books in the library back there. He says you have a impressive collection of some classics, it looks like.
So this was my mother. So my dear mother loved reading, and one of the reasons I loved reading was because of that. And she, many years ago, as my birthday and Christmas gift, put me on a subscription service. So I have everything from War and Peace to The Hobbit back there in these beautiful tomes. And I have not read all of them, but I've read some of them, and they do look really nice.
Yeah. You haven't read them all. Well, I've got a lot of books on there. I'm still trying to work through. I inherited a bunch of Star Trek stuff from somebody. They're like, "Hey, you want these?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Unfortunately, I lost a lot of my 3rd edition stuff. I lost a lot of my Forgotten Realms stuff from back in the day, 2nd and 3rd edition stuff, and I'm heartbroken. So I'm slowly rebuilding my collection, but I'm rebuilding it with new stuff. So, and one of the things, talk about the basements. When my wife and I were looking for a house, I said, I have to have a basement because I want to build a fantasy medieval themed tavern that can also have my office and, my studio and all that stuff. So it's slowly coming together, but it's the same size as the house. It's all for whatever the hobby stuff I want to do, and I will buy more bookshelves to fill it with lovely stuff from Gooey Cube, from Gaxworks, Gaxland as well. I've got some of their stuff. I think I have all their stuff. For that matter, and all of the wonderful stuff that's coming out. So, Dan, any questions you'd like to ask before we wrap up?
Well, so first of all, thank you very much for OSE versions. Obviously,
yes,
it's like right there. So, huge OSR guy. Love OSE. Love Swords and Wizardry. Grew up playing 1E primarily, 2E. But is there any secret way to get a gold badge for Gary Con before they sell out in 4 seconds online?
No. So that's sort of luck of the draw.
Yeah.
The gold badge is cool because it gives you some early registration, and you get a kind of a cool swag bag that has some various things in there.
Worth a shot.
It's a lot of fun. But I think most people really value a shot at earlier signing up for games.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, the bag is probably $200 of retail value, and the badge is what, $250 or something like that.
I tried to get him to hook me up too, and he wouldn't.
Yeah. Now, if a platinum or diamond badge becomes available, those are renewable. You have the first right of refusal every year. So those ones are that way. But we do 250 gold badges, and that's a bit much to track because I track those by hand.
Of course. Well, it is an amazing con. Like
Thank
I
you.
said,
I really appreciate everybody who comes there and kind of brings that positive energy.
I'll talk to Mrs. Deth about next year. Maybe.
You
All
should.
right. Sounds good.
Anniversary,
Buddy,
birthday, Gary Con. It's perfect.
There we go.
Right.
Yeah. Because my birthday is the 5th and our anniversary is the 15th. She did it that way, so I could not forget. She planned it that way. And then years later, people are like, you got married on the Ides of March. And I'm like, no, I didn't think about that.
at 2, Jeanette. But yeah, no, you can fly into O'Hare. I live like 30 minutes away. I can pick you up. You can crash in my basement or the extra bedroom.
Yeah.
And like it's a straight shot up 47. It's like 50 minutes.
There we go. Yeah. And if you guys ever come to Tennessee, y'all let me know. Like I said, I'm looking at the best time to create a con. It's probably going to be start off with a little thing, kind of like you did with the with Gary Con and all that stuff. And then maybe we'll grow, and as it gets bigger, maybe we'll get closer and closer to the touristy area that can accommodate those giant cons for. But at any rate, Mandi, anything that you'd like to add or promote before we wrap up?
So much, and I have regrets about certain things. So, so no, I'm just gonna shut my mouth. Anyway, it was a pleasure meeting you all. Good.
Yeah, no, I think you've been a great sport, and yeah, anything I can do for you, let me know, man. And that goes for all of you guys. Dean, any last?
It's just been great meeting you all, and I will definitely be pre-ordering the OSE version. You've sold me on it. I think it's fantastic. I love the idea of the story and the rules being separate so that you can adapt it to anything. I think that's fantastic. And the gooing that will happen, is that going to be live streamed?
Yes, it will be all over the place. We already had. I mean, Luke and Alphinius both got gooed. I got gooed with our co-owner Mike. Before I'll send them to you. They're fun, but the one that happened at Gary Con in 2024 with Luke and Alphinius was epic. It was
pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, one last question. Who's gonna win? Because I know you guys kicked it off to next week.
Wait,
right?
Who's gonna win?
Yeah, isn't next week the big battle of the monsters there? The
monster battle.
Oh yes, between there's
the final 4. We're in the final 4.
We're in the final 2, Alphinius.
Final 2.
It's the toad versus the
baby mimicker. How do you pronounce that?
I'm gonna go. Listen, I am rooting for the Imimiker. I am rooting for the Imimiker, but I think the toad is going to win. That is my guess. So
it's going to be terrible if the toad wins. Luke, by the way, I don't know if I told you this. Ed totally agreed. He's writing a Malady of Mimics for the sequel to A Trouble with Rats for Gyzaengaxx 2.
Oh, fantastic! All right, that's outstanding, and I'm not surprised. Ed is a great dude.
Very exciting.
Genuinely awesome person.
But thank you, Dean. That's marvelous. I appreciate your support. I think you will love it. I really do.
Oh, I think I will. And yes, we on my channel we do an indie game spotlight. So we just get all the independent creators, no matter how small they are. We shine a spotlight on them. We just get them to talk about their systems. So I've got a couple of very rare, I say rare, sort of lesser known rule systems that really took my interest. I know it's only a small channel, but if ever you wanted to come along and just have a spotlight shone on what you're doing, so we can get into the mechanics, lift the bonnet up, and really get into the deep, the long grass, and have a good look at it, we'd love to have you on. Really would.
Always up.
Yes.
Fantastic.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and pick the winner in just a second. Anybody last chance to get in? I got 2 people. That's it, man. And I'll let you know how to get a hold of me.
It's a bit of a long flight for
it is. I did.
Going to New York, you got to be able to afford that. You got to be able to, blah, blah. So I understand why there's only 2, but if I was one of 2, I'm pretty excited right now.
Yeah. They got a 50-50 chance, man. So all right.
For a guess, I'd say there's a good number of people in chat that already have a CNYCon badge.
Yes, and Dean and myself are both going, so it's like yeah. Oh, you want me to cancel yours? Really? Okay. All right. Well,
that means
I-
there's
I-
only
that
one
makes
for the
it
winner.
that makes it easy.
Someone's winning by default then.
Yeah, you sure about that, Breen? Let's see.
They
Alphinius just
started
spelled.
thinking about air flights and hotels and blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, it's New York.
That would make it. That let me. I put it in the chat. Oh, he can't travel. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Well, I guess
Who is it? Drum
Roy
roll.
it's
Come
Roy
on.
Upton. Roy Upton is
Roy
the.
Upton.
Roy! We love Roy. Roy. That's awesome. Roy's a good person to have at a con too. So
Yeah, Roy. I'll give you a way to get a hold of me here. And you can just send me. We'll talk about it here in a minute. The rest of you guys, I really appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much, Luke.
You're welcome.
I was getting worried, man, when I was watching you playing. I'm like, oh man, he's gonna forget about it. He's gonna be tied up with the trolls, you know. But no, definitely. Thank you so much, folks. And I please come back on anytime you've got anything you'd like to promote. And I will go ahead and let's see, what is it?
Hold on, I have one more favor. Everybody look at the camera and smile. I am going to take a screenshot, which I will then post in the Gooey Den, and you will all be there. Ha ha!
Okay, hang on a second. I'll
right,
hide my
hold
little
on.
chat. I'll hide my thing there if you want to take one.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll do it again. All right. One more smile. Ready, everyone? Almost. Ha ha! Yes.
It's generally a good idea to hide your thing in photos. That's just
Hide your
thing. In grade school.
I meant to crawl.
I see. I misunderstood.
Well, we weren't sure what you were talking about, but we're glad you hit it no matter what.
oh dear. Oh dear.
Can't take us anywhere. That's why we can't have nice things, people.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the credits if you don't mind sticking around for just a minute or two after, and we'll wrap up. Thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate it, and everybody stay sticky. Is that right?
May all your adventures.
May all your adventures be sticky. Okay, I'll get it eventually. Bye.
Bye.